So thank you, Dr. Habbu and others, for inviting me here. And Dr. Habbu called me some months ago and he said that he would like me to speak on an occasion that honors his father. And I could not just say no, because Dr. Habbu himself has done so much service to homeopathy and popularized it. And what I know about his father is that he was basically an allopath who converted to homeopathy when he saw that homeopathy could treat an incurable condition of gangrene. Also treated by another allopath who converted to homeopathy, Dr. L.D. Davle. And the Davle lineage and the Habbu lineage kind of started at that point. And I think these people, I also know Dr. Kasad, who was my teacher, and I knew also Dr. late M.L. Davle, and my father, of course, also belonged to this gang, you can say, of such passionate and such dedicated, homeopaths. And you cannot imagine, how they struggled, and there was no software, at that time. It was all, you had to do repertorization on those big repertorization sheets, and you had to mark. And my father would bring home the cases, and I was 12 or 13 years old when he would put me to mark those repertorization sheets, Nowadays we call it child labor, but in those times it was okay. And they were very together and discussing, and I was a witness to all that when I was a small child. I met all the wonderful homeopaths of that era, Kanjilal and Sarabai and Jugal Kishore and Harishchand and K.G. Saxena and you. So it's an honor, to honor these people on whose shoulders we stand. Of course, it is a great privilege to even be here. So thank you so much, sir. Now, my today's subject is aphorism 4 of the Organon. And the aphorism 4, it states, "He is likewise a preserver of health if he knows the things that derange health and cause disease, and how to remove them from persons in health." This is going to be what I want to speak about, because it is often the least spoken about aspect of the Organon or even about medical practice. Nowadays we call it preventive medicine. But what it is that when we say give medicine, what Hahnemann is saying in the very 4th paragraph of the Organon is that the physician is not only one who gives medicine and tries to cure diseases, but he is also a guide, advisor of preserving health. And I think that if we learn this in our practice, we will become holistic healers and not merely prescribers. So, what is to preserve is to protect, to maintain, to safeguard. And what is health? What do we preserve? There are 4 aspects. One could say the physical, the mental, the social, and the spiritual. All of us have 4 identities. We are the body, we are the mind, we are also a social being, and we are a spiritual being. So all these four aspects of us, we need to look into what is good for it, what is not good for it. Therefore, we can say that our car is running on these four wheels: body, mind, social and spiritual aspects. And even if one tire is punctured, it's not going to go ahead. So we need to look into it and to see what can we do. And what I discovered was that homeopathy, as a principle, as a law, as an idea, as a philosophy, is also the philosophy of preserving health. It cannot be divorced from that. And the main idea, if you were to put the homeopathic philosophy in one word, that word would be awareness. What the homeopathic remedy does is basically reflect what is already inside you. If you are netramure, you give netramure. It's a similia similibus. What it does is, at a subconscious level, create awareness in your system. And awareness is healing. That's the principle of homeopathy. When you mirror something, it heals you. It's the same awareness that can be also implemented without giving the pills, through our own effort. Self-healing. So when we take the entire onus on ourselves, I am going to cure you, I think we are taking something very important away from the patient, which is his own self-healing potential. So when we look at awareness at all these four levels, when we talk of awareness at the body level, you're talking about diet, and you're talking about exercise, you're talking about regularity of habit, you're talking about sleep, you're talking about yoga. And all these are based on the principle of awareness. You should become aware of what your body wants, what is good for it, which food suits it, what kind of sleep habits or exercise habit feels good and healthy. See? Today we saw an amazing example of Dr. Habbu, who combined his lecture with the morning walk. So this is how he does it. So we have to see that we also exercise. So in the mind, what we see here is very interesting, that when we examine ourselves, we say, stress causes problems. Everybody says, we know it also. But what is stress? So we say, stress is because I had a fight with my spouse, or I had a problem in my office, or in my work, or in my health, or in my financial issues, etc. We put the onus of it on something outside of us. But when we look inside, we see that it's not what is there that is causing the problem, but how we perceive and how we respond to it. And that perception and response is a pattern that is imbibed in us, that is embossed in us. And we kind of react to everything in the same manner. You see? Are you with me?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
You see? And if we start to look inside, become aware of what is our pattern that is reacting to these situations. When you are driving a car, right? There is a rickshaw guy who cuts you here and cuts you there. Right? This is normal. One person driving the car will say, क्या साला बाप का रास्ता समझता है? So he will go behind him, he will cut him, he will stop, stand on the road and start yelling. Another fellow will say, rickshaw guys are like this, this is normal. And he will say, I should be careful, that's it. And the third fellow like me will have his clinic on the first floor and, house on the third floor, so I don't face these rickshaw guys in my life. There are so many ways of responding. Now the guy who says, kya baap ka rasta hai? He is somebody, do you think that his aggression is only toward the rickshaw guy? No. At home also he is going to do the same thing. In his work he is going to do the same thing. Everywhere he goes he is going to see baap ka rasta hai. This is his t-shirt. Kya tera baap ka rasta hai? In other, expressions. That's his pattern. So instead of saying, that guy is the problem, can we use a crisis to reflect within and become more and more aware of who we are rather than who the others are? That can heal us. And for this reason, we realized, I will show you a little later on, that there are certain levels of perception. And the deeper you go, the better the healing happens. Now, the third aspect is our social health. See, we are also part of a community. As much as we are individuals, we are also part of a community. Like a tree, if you can imagine a tree, what does a tree do? A tree takes, from the soil, it takes from the air, it takes from the rain, it takes from the sun, uses all these as nourishment, grows, develops, and gives fruit. Taking and giving. That's who we are, isn't it? We are part of a creation. We are part of a mutually dependent ecosystem. That's what a community is also. So we are always taking from the community and giving back to the community. Are we aware of this? Are we aware of this, what's going on? And to feel part of the community is one of the most healing things that you can do. And finally, we are also the spirit. You see, the question is, who am I? What is it that really defines me as anything? You see? Do you follow a little bit? Yes. If I were to give you an example, just imagine, you can even close your eyes, you can imagine yourself as a child. Take a moment, just in your mind, just make a picture. Remember you are a child, you are 8 years old. Think what clothes you were wearing. Think which school you were going. Think your teachers, think your parents, think your friends, think your toys, think your birthday parties, think your relatives, think your picnics, think your priorities. Think your priorities. When my son Sahaj was 7 years old, he came back one day from school. He says, Papa, today they made me duster monitor. I said, what do you have to do? He says, when the teacher writes something on the board, I have to wipe it out. I am duster monitor. See, what was his priority? Imagine you as that child, And then imagine you as you are now. What happened to your body? It's completely different. What happened to your clothes? What happened to even your name? Even your name has changed. They used to call you something, Now they call you something else. Your role has changed. Your friends, your society, your likes, your priorities. Can you think of one thing that was common between that child and you? Hardly anything. And yet you say, that child was I. And you say, this is I too. So what is that I that remained? Nothing remained. Nothing was common. Yet you say, that was me, this is me. Which is you? Is it your name, your role, your relationships, your toys, your language, your nationality? Everything can change. And yet you say, it's I, it's I. You keep saying I, but 25 years later, nothing is going to remain of this. Everything will change. Yet you say, that is also I. So which I are you talking about? Who is this I you're talking about? This is spiritual orientation. And to find out that, you need somebody to point, look here, and you walk that path. That is a meditative experience. And when you reach to that point, when you are in touch with that deeper I, you take a distance from the mind and from your body, even from your social aspect. And you remain in a place that has no description, no quality. It's a deeply healing experience. Everything in life seems to be a little less important, And you realize the temporariness of your, of your body and mind and of everything. You know that 80 years from now, none of us will be here. You know that or no? Are you in touch with it? Are you in touch with it? Yes or no? No, you're not in touch with it. If you're in touch with it, the things that seem so important now will not seem so important. One day I met a spiritual person called Jetsun Ma, and she says, don't take life so seriously. I said, no, I have to do a lot. I have to achieve a lot. So much homeopathy needs. How can I? She said, Jesus came and went. Gandhi came and went. Buddha came and went. What changed? Nothing changed. We are still shooting each other. So why you're giving yourself so much importance? Everything comes and goes. You are a part of the coming and going. You are just a drop in the ocean. There. I felt a lot lighter after that. This kind of... So when we adopt the right body, mind, community, and spiritual practices and attitudes, our health will improve, our mind state will improve, peace will come. And Hahnemann says, it is the role of a physician to advise the patient in all these aspects. And as they say, physician, heal thyself. Healing has to begin from the physician himself. So we have got to start to look at these things. And when we adopt these practices in our life, when we adopt this attitude in our life, we can be examples, and our words will carry some value for our patients. If we don't do it, you can't sit in your clinic and smoke and say, stop smoking. It doesn't make sense. So we've got to first realize all this ourselves. Yeah. So how do we realize? So they say there is a learning pyramid that if you lecture, then the other people absorb 5%. And as you go down, when you come to practical doing, then you absorb 75%, isn't it? So therefore, what I thought of doing was creating a retreat which is called birth. Birth is short for building immunity and resistance through homeopathy, means using homeopathic principles to heal yourself. And I want to tell you about this retreat and what we do in it. Primarily because I want to sell it to you, that's of course understood, but maybe it has some clues which we can use in our practice and in our life and with our patients. So we focus a lot on, we go to a place called Hidden Oasis. Some of you may know it. It's about an hour from here. Very nice place in nature. And we focus on the body. We focus on diet, on mindful walks, on yoga, on exercise. We do a vegan plant-based diet. We restrict the quantity of food to how much we need, and we do mindful eating. Here is a picture of the walks that we do in nature. A little picture of the kind of food we eat. Very tasty. Amazingly tasty. There is no oil, no milk products. Everything is organic. Everything is whole food. There is no sugar. There is nothing that is refined. And the food is excellent. So it is possible to have healthy food which is also tasty. And that's what I eat since last 8 years. Okay. So the food is vegan, organic, whole food, unrefined food, no sugar, less oil. We also eat early. By 6:30 we have our dinner. And eat only when you're hungry. And eat with awareness. So don't eat watching television or chatting on the phone. Eat with consciousness. Here is the pictures of yoga. We have yoga every morning.
And raise your lower body.
And
up. The bridge pose. Setu Vandanasana.
The idea is there's no talking here. You do it. You make them do it. And we do it for 5 days. So at least there's a kind of a kickstart for a different way of living. One of the things that we use here is called WISE. WISE is short form for Witnessing Inner Song Experience. You know what we can do at this point, if you are open to it, can we do something practical? I can't hear. Yes. Very good. So what you need to do is adopt a posture. I will show you the posture. You sit, okay? I'll stand for you, for people who, but you're sitting. You sit with your head bent forward, left fist in front of your face, the right fist in front of the left fist, and your eyes closed. Can you do that? Yes. Do it. All of you can do it. It's a very, very interesting exercise. See what happens. Like this. Eyes closed, relax. And just follow my instruction. Imagine somebody else, not you, not your relative, not anybody you know, somebody else in any space-time context. That means maybe 10,000 years before or 10,000 years later. Anywhere in the world or in the Mars. Any person, just imagine who is in this posture. Use your imagination. Let your imagination go wild. Be spontaneous. Somebody in some time or space is like this. Now, what is happening to this person? Imagine that. What is the situation this person is finding himself or herself in? What is around this person? What is happening? Imagine that scenario. What is in front? What is behind? What is around? What is happening? Why is this person in this posture? What is happening at this time? Let your imagination go completely wild and be spontaneous. And when you are fully in that situation, imagine what is the color, what is the time of the day or night, is it inside or outside a room or a building? Who is there? What's happening? Imagine every detail of it. And when you are fully in that situation, put yourself in the place of that person, in that situation, and start to experience what happens within you, in your mind, and especially in your body. In your head, in your chest, in your abdomen, in your arms and legs. What exactly what's happening here when you are in this situation? Become aware of the sensation in the various parts of your body and the overall experience. Take your time, there's no hurry. Experience what happens in your head, chest, abdomen, arms and legs. What is happening with your emotions? What is happening inside your mind also? And when you have fully experienced it, you can slowly come back to current reality. You can open your eyes also. Is there a microphone that people can use, that can go around? If anybody would like to share their experience, just yes, there.
Hello.
Here, Sachin.
Hello. There was a full concentration in arms, legs, in the fists which we closed. And for a fraction of time, there came in the mind that the position in which we were seems to be in when we were in the womb, or what we see the picture of that fish closed, head down, legs towards abdomen. That kind of situation in the womb, what we see, that kind of imagination was there.
Mm-hmm. And what was the experience inside you to be in
relaxed.
That? Sorry?
After closing, after opening the eyes and losing the flash, it was totally relaxed.
Totally relaxed. Okay. Relaxed. Very good. Anybody else?
Sir, it was fantastic experience.
No, a little loud. I can't hear you. Something's not working. Yeah.
Sir, it was fantastic experience, and I felt I am in a womb of my mother, and she is pampering me. I am free from all the stress, and the very positivity in me has increased much, and emotionally I am very much, what you said, satisfied.
Okay.
That I can tell you.
Very good.
Yes.
Anybody else? One more? Yes.
Actually, it was like I had visions of war, as if there is some war going on.
War.
War.
Okay.
And brutal war, like people are killed and lot of scene of death.
Oh.
And then suddenly I could feel a complete silence, death silence, and birth and death at the same time. So that silence, that just before something is about to come to birth, alive, and something has to die.
Wonderful.
So that is vacuum and that is nothingness.
Yes.
Can't be described.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. And what did we do here, you know? What did we do? So what we do here is we witness our inner song experience. Witness means to observe without any kind of judgment, opinion or preference, without like or dislike. Inner means what is inside. Song means the pattern. And experience means that this pattern is an experience. It's not a thought, it's not an emotion, it's not an imagination, it is a complete physical and mental experience. And this is what we observe, we witness, we take a distance, we watch it. This awareness is deeply, deeply healing experience. So for this reason, we created a lot of wise processes. This one you did was called posture. We did it very superficially, just to give you a glimpse. We take it much deeper than that. So what do we do? I will show you that when we look inside, the first thing we observe is called now. You know? Some situation is there, it irritates us, it makes us angry. Oh, that rickshaw guy cut my thing. Oh, I'm so upset, etc. This is the now. But the now is usually based on what happened in the past. Oh, all these people are like that. I remember 5 years ago, one fellow dashed into my car and he damaged everything. And this I remember. And so now I get irritated. So your irritation today is usually based on something that happened in the past. But something that happened in the past is usually based on what you imagined happened in the past. So what he did was he just scraped your car, but you imagined that he came and dashed into your car and destroyed your car. So you reacted as if the situation was far worse than it was. When you go deeper than the emotion, you get to one more layer, which is known as the non-human pattern. So when you put yourself, he damaged my car, he destroyed, it was broken, I was bleeding, in your imagination, right? And then you go into it, then you notice some kind of physical experience, somatic experience, you know? And it has to be done more patiently and with a lot of time and space. I'm not going to do it now. But for example, if I go in, I will start it has no logic. It has no reason. And that's why we never allow it to come to the surface. Right? We push it down because it's unreasonable. But at the depth, that's what we experience. And when we allow this experience to come to the surface and we watch it, healing happens. Because this experience is a sensation. It is an experience in the body. But deeper than that experience is an energetic pattern that manifests in terms of movement and sound. It cannot be expressed in words. So when we take somebody very deep, what comes up, we tell them stand up and express your experience through movement and through sound. Don't use words. Words are completely irrelevant at that point. You cannot express it. It's an energetic pattern. It's even deeper than homeopathy. It's at an energetic plane. And the participants who come there, so below the non-human pattern is the energy pattern. People who come there, they go through every kind of experience. They say, then we tell them, go to the opposite. They say, we say, don't even express this in word, because you can't express it. It's how you feel. Now do the opposite. Opposite. Then we say to them, what you experienced as the unpleasant side and the pleasant side, right? Two poles, yes or no? You must be feeling it in your life. Sometimes I feel so heavy, I feel so dragged down. Other times I feel so light, I feel I'm floating, yes or no? Yes. If you don't feel it, just take some cannabis and everything will be okay. Right? So these two polarities of your experience, what do we do then? We do something really fantastic. We say to this person who is in the experience, we say, understand that this comes and goes, and this comes and goes too. If it comes and goes, it is not you. It is an experience that is being witnessed by you. It comes like a wave, it lasts, and it goes away. So it cannot be you, because if it is you, you will disappear when the wave disappears. Are you with me? Yes. Just watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. And I can tell you, people heal on the moment. I have had so many that just healed like this without any remedy. So awareness, witnessing your own inner pattern is deeply healing. And this is where our 5 levels are. The first level is the emotion, the past memory, which is more Freudian. Then comes the collective memory, which is Jungian. The universal memory, which memory from plants, animals, and minerals, which is human, homeopathy. And deeper than that is energy pattern, sound, light, movement, and color. We use a lot of music in our healing. Music is deeply healing because it's energetic pattern. And music and homeopathy are exactly the same. Yeah? Because I studied Hindustani classical music and worked on ragas. And I found that each raga is a specific energetic pattern that can heal a specific individual. Just like homeopathy, we created a whole repertoire of ragas and an app based on that. So you can go, it's called raga therapy, I'll show you. You can find your own raga and heal yourself. You see? So, like that we use pictures for wise. We use a different wise posture. This is the posture wise that you just did. Here is Dr. Meghna guiding people on how to do it.
Hold both the arms, right? Make a fist, and the right hand will be in front of the left hand. Left hand is little bit lower, around, you can say, mid-level of the right hand, right? And shoulders maybe a little bit stooped. Your neck is show, Manish, but in, yes.
This is in
front of your left hand, and the left closed. You have.
This is another retreat. So we did it already. We also use what we call free strokes. We use color. So people are asked to use their non-dominant hand and just make any color that comes to them in any pattern, any form. And then you look at it and use that as a window to your inner pattern. We did these wise processes in Germany and Brazil. In Germany with more than 1,000 people, and in Brazil with about 400 people. And we found that when we did a statistical survey of the quality of life before and after wise processes, we did 8 processes with them every week, 3 hours. It was a significant difference across these parameters: vitality, physical functioning, bodily pain, health perception, emotional, social, and mental. And 6 months later, these quality of life statistics remained almost the same. So the improvement lasted for at least 6 months when we did it. So I suggest that all of you should also learn and do wise processes. It's very helpful for you, and also to find the remedy. When you go at a deepest level, you can find the remedy much precision, with much precision. Yes. So remedies can be found at many levels, emotional level, symptom level, physical level, emotional, imagination level, etc. But at the deepest level, the remedy just stands up in front of you and starts speaking. It's amazing to watch, and the results are really encouraging, very encouraging. And what we do with these results is that we convert it into a chart which is called superclass. That when the person's deepest experience is revealed, that experience falls in one of these 6 superclasses. And each superclass is a specific dynamic response. First superclass, when there's a crisis, they will go inside, withdraw, like a oyster. The second superclass is they withdraw, but occasionally open the window to see what is going on. If there's danger, they will close. It's a bit like a snail. The third superclass is that they are comfortable within a certain boundary. They are free, but inside the boundary. The fourth superclass, where they want to put firm foundations and be stable. They don't want change. Fifth superclass, when they want to get out, when they want to move. They cannot sit still. And sixth superclass, when there is violence, fight and flight. Our remedies can be grouped into these 6 superclasses. A certain group of mineral remedy, animal remedy, and plant remedy will have this response. A certain group of mineral, animal, and plant will have the open and shut. A certain group will have boundaries or borders, etc. And this also helps us to differentiate one remedy from another. As a simple example, Dr. Habbu mentioned, Netramure and sepia look very similar. What is the difference? One of the differences is that Netramure belongs to the 3rd superclass and sepia to the 5th. The 3rd superclass has qualities of love, care, nourishing, like a child who has to be inside a boundary to feel that care and love. Whereas sepia always wants to get out, wants to move, wants to dance, like carcinosin, like tuberculinum. So all these tarantula, these are all belonging to the 5th superclass. You can see similarities. So this is one difference. So Netramure will be very, very concerned about love, care, nourishment, bonding. That's why disappointment in love is a big theme in Netramure. Whereas sepia is beyond that stage. There is no hope here, despair. I want to just get out of this relationship. I don't want this husband. I don't want this child. I want to get out. I want to move. And in the 5th superclass also comes ambition. It also comes the need to get out of the box. So these are our scientists. These are our architects. These are our performers. They are not routinistic, they are out of the box thinkers. Right? So we put all this down. I believe that this kind of understanding paradigm of homeopathy will make a lot of difference. It's made a huge difference in my practice. And I'm going to speak about this in detail in the seminar in Pune on 28th, 29th of April, which also I came here to sell. So I'm selling now you the birth retreat, I'm selling the Pune seminar. I have few more things to sell, then I'll stop. I am quite shameless, I don't care. That's what I am, basically. We all have to survive, That's it. So from the pattern recognition, you can go to a pattern classification. And from there into the kingdoms and then into the remedy. That's also a beautiful way. So symptoms and system can work together. You can understand any remedy from both these sides. And that really makes it very precise. We also talk about childhood crisis, and work on that as well. And I don't want to go into too much detail in all of these things. And we also talk about the awareness of death. And here what we do is we actually create a funeral. Earlier we used to do it in the Samshan. We used to go to the burning ghat and do it there. But now in hidden oasis, Samshan is not close by, so we do it there and then. We ask for one volunteer who ready to, this lady is still alive though. So it's just she's volunteering. And we do this, and then we all adopt Shavasana, we all dead bodies. And we say to ourselves, how is it to die? How is it to die? Why so many of us have fear of death? Either our death or somebody else's death. Is it not? Yes or no? Yes. Even though you told me none of us will be here after 80 years, right? Just 20 minutes ago you told me that. But now you're all saying we are afraid of death. Why? We never ask the question why. In homeopathy, the question why doesn't exist. Our question is always what? What is the experience? We never ask, why does bryonia have aggravation from motion? This is never a question in homeopathy. Experience, and that is the truth. Why is only a theory. This is how we function. So whatever you want to know, whatever you are afraid of, experience it. If you have anger, experience your anger. Go deeper and deeper and deeper into the anger. Don't say, why am I angry? Because the answer to why am I angry is always husband or wife, isn't it? So find out what is the experience of anger. So in this way, what is the experience of death? These are things we need to experience, really. It will change our lives. Yes. Then, we put a lot of emphasis on community. We think that singing together, dancing together, and rhythm is a great unity in the community. We do a lot of that. And then we also do drumming together. We do singing together. And that's something we can do right now. Shall we? Is it okay? Okay, good. Let's sing together. Let's see what happens. How do you feel? Experience it. Why not? No? Just listen to me once, then we'll do it together. The first one is 3 times, second one 2, and then 1 and back into the first. Okay, ready? Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re ga re sa ta na di re na ta na 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 ta na di re na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na dhire na. Shall we try? Sing with me. Ta na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na. It's easy. Ta na ta na dhire na. Do it with your heart. There's no competition. You will get lunch anyway. Ta na ta na dhire na 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 dhire na ta na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na. Ta na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na. Dhire na ta na dhire na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na. Can you do it loudly? Ta na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na dhire na ta na ta na dhire na. Well, anyway, I'm sure you're not going to invite me again, so I don't really. क्या बोलने को बुलाया, क्या गाना वाना गवाता है, पोस्चर कराता है, कुछ भी. मीन्स इट्स ओके ना. I don't mind. Anyway, so we do this. This is also very interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to do. You can. Yeah. this is also very interesting because I realized that rhythm, what is rhythm? No? I suddenly realized at some point that rhythm is what connects us to the universe. Everything in the universe is bound in time, isn't it? Kal, we call it Kal. Kal is Tal. Time is rhythm. Everything is bound in time, and time is rhythmic, isn't it? When you say time, it's thak, 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 thak. So the earth goes around in rhythm. The sun moves in rhythm. The birds move in rhythm. The waves go in rhythm. The trees sway in rhythm. The heart beats in rhythm. The snakes, it makes its movement in rhythm, isn't it? Everything is rhythm. So if you connect with rhythm, through that rhythm, you can connect with anything in the universe. Suddenly you are not you. You can become the horse. So we use rhythm like this, and we say to people, through rhythm, just become what you want. It had a little funny side effect, because at some point we say you can become a horse, you can, you close your eyes and you are a horse. It's unbelievable. You are transported. But the last retreat, one participant took it too seriously. He just went out of the room also, and then we had to chase him because he had become a horse. 2 people had to run after him. He took it too seriously. So we do all these things. So we connect to rhythm. So all of this, walking, and of course we have a lot of laughter. Laughing at yourself. So we have a session where we just sit and laugh at ourselves. Each one tells some funny thing that happened to him, that pointed to him, and we all laugh. It's like 2 hours of non-stop laughter. So we had now, I have done about 25 such retreats, and yes, we also do philosophy. We talk about the Bhagavad Gita. Sachin, how much time do I have? It's over? Done? Okay, so we'll stop. I don't want. Sorry? 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Because I won't be finished. You have to stop me and cut off all these things. Okay. I'm very excited by this, I can't stop. So you just have to just cut my video and my mic, and then I'll stop. Sorry? Thank you. Oh, I don't know if you'll thank me, but anyway. So we do a lot of sunrise and sunset meditations and music over there. I don't want to go too much. And maybe I can do one more small demo for you. To hear the sound of silence. Shall we try? What do you say? Or you're bored of me? No. Give you a little glimpse. So, sound of silence means what? When we hear music, we hear the notes, isn't it? But the real music is in the silence. Shall we try? So what you have to do, close your eyes, and I'll sing for you, but put your complete attention on the silence between the notes. But you will see that the notes arise from the silence and they subside into the silence, isn't it? Instead of listening the notes, can you see what happens in the silence? Can you become aware of what happens in the silence? You need to close your eyes, put your attention on the notes, observe that the notes arise from silence, remains like a wave in the ocean, and subsides into the silence. See what happens in the silence. Because in that silence is the entire universe. Nerega. Niresa. Nerega marega. Nirega ma ma pare pa ma ga. Nere gare. Nere sa. Just this much. You can open your eyes and just be aware of what you experienced. That's all. Okay, so let's go a little forward. These are some
I've learned to know and accept myself. Knowing is a different thing, but after knowing, learning to accept is a very difficult process. But I've started my journey on that process already, thanks to Dr. Sankaran. Something in me is there, which is going less. That means the anxiety. If you something in me is.
These are various participants who expressed how they changed with this retreat. Now,
I enjoyed every bit of the retreat. The locale, the location, the people around me, the food, the atmosphere, the energy that surrounds us here right now. And the processes, the wise processes that we did. They were so overwhelmingly useful. I cannot describe those processes in words. You have to do them. You have to experience them to believe what they can do for you.
some of you probably know him. He's Dr. Manish.
Where we are.
Who was the editor of Headspace.
I joined this retreat
So anyway, this is the next retreat is on August. Brochures are kept on your chair or you can read them. Anybody who like to come, more than welcome. This is the Raga Therapy app. You can find it on Google Play Store as well as in the iPhone thing. If you download it, you can, it will show you some cues. You can select your Raga and that Raga I will sing for you 10 to 12 minutes and you can see the effect. I wrote some books, Dog Yogi, Banyan Tree, but mostly I would like to talk about this book, Manji the Boatman, which I wrote as a remedy for patients. And patients who read it, they say that it has helped them a great deal. So this is a book I would like you to look at. It is on the subject of awareness, but presented in a story form. And I wrote other books also. YouTube, I have a lot of videos for those who want to see. I have meditation videos, I have music videos besides homeopathic ones. The wise processes which I talked to you about are described in this book, From Shadow to Light, using the wise process in homeopathic case taking. and with lot of case illustrations. I also talk a lot about the purpose of life. Why are we here? And I recommend this book to people, Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. I think these are all parts of healing. It's all part of therapy. Or this meditation video, which is called Be a Tree. It is found on YouTube also. And you can see the website www.sampurnamhealing.com, where you will get some of my work. And for the retreat, Reema Shah, whose number is here, and also on the brochure, so it's no problem. I wanted to talk about the seminar in Pune, which is on 28-29th April, where I'll be presenting the idea of super classes and how they are useful in homeopathy. So it's called Keynotes to Super Classes. That is the name of the seminar. Also, those who want to follow my system, the best way is to follow the Sankaran master class, which is structured in a way you can start from my beginning and come to the current point. And yes, all of these things. I think I have done my job. I wanted to share basically with you that if you follow all this in your life, and if you are advisor to your patients, all these things, it makes a huge difference. We should become not merely homeopaths, but we must become healers. We must become holistic practitioners. Not just prescribing, but actually improving the quality of our life, And this is what Hahnemann meant by saying he is a preserver of health if he knows the things that derange health and cause disease and how to remove them from persons in health. This is the meaning of that aphorism. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, sir.